Buckle up, anime fam, because Clevatess, Majuu no Akego to Shikabane no Yūsha episode 10, titled Margo and Drel, just dropped a narrative bomb that's got me screaming, crying, and throwing my ramen bowl in the air. Sorry, not so. This dark fantasy juggernaut has been carving its name into the 2025 anime scene with a blood-soaked blade, and this episode cranks the intensity to 11. Let's dive into the chaos, break down the visuals, and unpack why this show has me glued to my screen like a moth to a cursed flame. Grab your Arcanite sword, and let's nerd out like we're chilling at a cozy cafe with a stack of manga and a bottomless coffee pot. Episode 10, Margo and Drel, hurls us back into the war-torn world of Ithia, where the stakes are higher than Lunar Mountain and the drama cuts deeper than Clevatess' Shadow Tales. The episode picks up right after the gut punch of episode 9, where Princess Tiala is scouring the ruins of Hayden for her missing son, Lina, while General Drel's army looms like a storm cloud of doom. We're thrust into a whirlwind of action and emotion as Alicia, our undead hero bound to the Demon King Clevatess, faces off against Drel, the nihilistic general who murdered her father, Margo. The title alone had me hyped. This is the showdown we've been waiting for, and it delivers like a dragon's claw to the face. The episode opens with Tiala, voiced with raw desperation, rallying survivors in Hayden's rubble while Favio drops the bombshell that Drel's army is closing in. Meanwhile, Alicia, Clan Clevatess' human disguise, and Nellaru are hauling ass towards Hayden's royal furnace, the mystical forge that could turn the tide of this war. Luna, the baby prince who's basically Ithia's last hope, is sensing something. Maybe the forge, maybe another dark beast lord, who knows. The kid's got more magical intuition than Clevatess himself, which is saying something for a diaper-wearing MVP. The meat of the episode is the long-awaited Alicia vs. Drel showdown. Alicia, wielding her father's legendary stream splitter, is a force of nature, her sword swings fueled by years of grief and rage. Drel, voiced chillingly by Mike Smith, is every bit the terrifying bastard we've come to hate. His demonic sword, infused with his soul and Vordine's dark power, crackles with menace, and that third eye on his forehead. Creepy as hell. The fight is a brutal ballet. Drel's dead dragon's claw attack sends shockwaves that could level a village, but Alicia's not backing down. Her rising dragon move, where her pupils vanish in a bloodlust haze, is straight up anime gold. The animators lean hard into the gore, with Drel's regenerative powers letting him shrug off wounds that would make lesser villains cry for mummy. A major twist hits when Clan, still recovering from his episode 7 imprisonment in Drel's prison of Dark Ichor, decides not to jump into the fight. He's curious about the forge and Drel's magic, so he hangs back, leaving Alicia to face her demons literally alone. This choice stings, but it's Pete Clevatess' fascination with humanity's magic is his Achilles heel, and it's setting up some juicy conflict. Meanwhile, Nair, Drel's magnetic wizard, gets punked by Peter and Phil in a surprisingly hilarious sequence involving a flying cart that crashes spectacularly. The dark humor lands perfectly, like when Clan deadpans, must be abandoned, after swallowing gods into his shadow void. Looney Tunes meets Berserk, who knew? The episode climaxes with Alicia landing a critical hit on Drel's sword, weakening it but not shattering it. Tiala gets her moment, hammering at the blade with her own weapon, but the fight ends on a cliffhanger. Drel's still standing, his demonic aura pulsing, and Alicia's panting, her resolve tested. Clan's cryptic comment about the forge's power hints at bigger things to come, and Luna's glowing eyes suggest this baby's about to unleash some serious magic. The vibe is chaotic, emotional, and dripping with tension, like watching a volcano erupt while you're standing way too close. Review, animation, and art style that slay mostly. Juice is flexing hard with Clevatess' animation, and episode 10 is a visual feast that could make even Demon Slayer jealous. The fight between Alicia and Drel is the crown jewel, with fluid choreography that makes every sword clash feel like a life-or-death gamble. The animators nail the contrast between Alicia's precise, heroic strikes and Drel's chaotic, almost animalistic slashes. The dead dragon's claw sequence is a standout, with glowing red energy claws tearing through the air, leaving trails of dark ichor that glisten like cursed oil. The color palette greys, blacks, and blood red screams dark fantasy, grounding Ithia's world in gritty realism. Character designs are a highlight. Alicia's undead pallor and fierce eyes convey her inner turmoil, while Drel's third eye unscarred, regenerating body make him a walking nightmare. Clan's boyish disguise, with his oversized cloak and sly grin, is deceptively cute until his shadow tails slither out. The backgrounds, especially the ruined Hayden and the eerie glow of the royal furnace, are gorgeously detailed, with every crumbling stone and flickering flame adding to the atmosphere. The use of shadows, especially Clevatess' teleporting tails, gives the action a unique, almost 3D depth. Where could it step up? The pacing of the non-action scenes, like Tiala's Survivor Rally, feels a tad rushed, with some static shots that could have used more dynamic camera work. The crowd scenes lack the individuality of, say, Attack on Titan's mod sequences, making the civilians feel like cardboard cutouts. Also, while the gore is effective, a few blood splatters look overly stylized, pulling me out of the moment. It's not a deal breaker, but a little more restraint could have made the violence hit harder. Still, Juice's animation is a love letter to dark fantasy fans, and the art style keeps Clevatess looking like $1,000,000. Episode 10 of Clevatess is a masterclass in balancing heart-pounding action, gut-wrenching character drama, and just enough dark humor to keep things from getting too grim. Alicia's showdown with Drel is the emotional core, tying her past trauma to the present conflict in a way that makes her feel like a true hero, undead or not. Drel's villainy is deliciously hateable, and his ties to Vodine hint at a larger conspiracy that's got me itching for more. Clan's decision to sit at the fight is both frustrating and fascinating. It's a bold move that shows his flaws as a character, not just a godlike beast. I'm obsessed with how Clevatess keeps subverting expectations. It could have been a generic hero vs demon slog, but instead, it's a layered story about grief, redemption, and the blurry line between monster and man. Luna's growing magical potential is a wild card I can't wait to see explored, and a royal furnace feels like the key to unlocking Eddie's deepest secrets. My only worry is that with only 2 episodes left in this 12-episode season, the show might rush its finale. I'm crossing my fingers for a second season to give this epic a room it deserves to breathe. If you're not watching Clevatess yet, what are you even doing? This is dark fantasy done right, brutal, beautiful, and unapologetically weird. Episode 10 has me hyped for the in-game, but also dreading the wait for what's next. Let's grab another coffee and rewatch that Alicia vs Drel fight, because damn, it's a vibe.